Fetishism, more particular in anthropology, refers to the belief that spiritual powers can inhabit lifeless things. It is based on the idea of religion and how it conducts certain rituals and practices. It can be seen as a worship to objects of attachment, and each object may differ depending on cultural and religious beliefs. Charles de Brosis describes fetishism as an alternative to magic, essentially expressing the force of magical thought and the worship of a spiritual divine. His writings have been an influence on most of our ambitious thinkers for more than 250 years. These include Marx and Freud, who use fetishism as a value to their own writings. So with that in mind, I have decided to focus my attention on shamanic practices and rituals, more particularly the sacred ritual of an ayahuasca ceremony, which involves the ingestion of a psychoactive plant, which is then brewed into a tea for individuals looking to seek a higher connection with the divine. An ayahuasca ceremony involves drinking a hallucinatory plant tea blend under the guidance of a respected shaman for a long night spent in a deep connection to a higher intelligence and an understanding of one's true self. A typical ceremony is a full night and the trip can last 5 hours. When combined, the plants form a powerful psychedelic brew that affects the central nervous system, leading to an altered state of consciousness, causing hallucinations, out-of-body experiences, and euphoria. Before partaking in the ceremony, it's best to stay away from drugs, sex, alcohol, and cigarettes to purify the body, and it's recommended to follow a vegan diet. So everyone would have an individual reason for partaking in an ayahuasca ceremony. There's many benefits, and they can include increasing mindfulness to unlock capacities of your brain, to reduce anxiety and depression. It can also assist with addiction and psychological trauma that's known to cause PTSD. Although natural, there is a misconception that this means safe. Each experience of a trip is unique to the individual, and while this can be seen as profound, they can also have lasting psychological trauma once sober. But it's said to be a tool for awakening, and in some cases, this means addressing one's trauma they encounter in a trip to immerse themselves into a healing journey. Alex Gray is a painter who has focused his full attention on psychedelic artworks that are handcrafted from each time he submerges himself into another realm of reality, and this is caused from the use of LSD and DMT. He describes this personal practice as a meaningful experience that has a greater importance. Gray discusses how this psychedelic trip he encounters within his mind has truly been a revolution into his waking life, stating, "My art has always been in response to visions. It's something that pulls us towards consciousness evolution." Over the years, Gray has been an influence on many other visionary artists who now indulge in a psychedelic experience. In traditional cultures, ayahuasca is often used by shamans or medicine men to open communication pathways with nature. The anthropology of this practice has been dated back more than 100 years ago, keeping old religious ideologies, and that is now put into today's rituals of a sacred ceremony. The anthropological fetish, which would be the sacred practice of an ayahuasca ceremony, touches upon a concept where these objects and rituals hold a religious power seen as magical. To indulge with the psychoactive brew is to fully immerse oneself into a fetishism of continuous practice that exhibits a connection to a godly figure. Charles de Brosis's claim that all religious beliefs began with a fetish worship and a direct and intimate attachment to things that would be sacred tools for this worship is merely just considered to be a mystical thinking in an age of enlightenment.